Test, 1, 2, 3. Yep, we're on air. Survivors, this is the third episode of the Garage 2.0, and here's what we're going to discuss today. Workshop, pros and cons of wheeled mecha legs. Voice of the Wasteland, where we answer your questions and choose the craft of the week. And some unfiltered madness in our new segment, the Mad Lab. This time we're making a high power score vehicle armed with goddamn chords. What? Yeah! Let's go! The founders brought with them a lot of new interesting car parts and some really powerful weapons, not to mention that we also got a new rarity level. But we're going to speak about probably the most peculiar thing added with update 0.11.0, the Big Ram Mecha Leg. Or is it a wheel? Well, both actually. As distinct from all other parts that allow your vehicles to move, Big Rams can operate in two different modes. In the first, your Big Ram-equipped car will simply use its wheels the way they're usually used. Okay, in the Wastes, there are lots of unconventional ways to use wheels, but you get the idea. In the second mode, Big Rams turn into spider-like mechanical legs that let you walk to places. Keep in mind that the transition between the modes takes some time, so plan accordingly. The best part, obviously, is that it opens up a lot of new possibilities for both building, just look at this cat, and combat. The pros are pretty self-evident. You can quickly get in position or rotate between different spots. You can move in a unique way and through what is impassable terrain for other vehicles. And every Big Ram also speeds up the time it takes your crosshair to shrink. You can engage your enemies full speed, weave an intricate dance of death around them, and make them mad at your speed and agility. That's what the Big Ram is all about. We live in the Wasteland, though, and here, nothing comes for free. This leg wheel is heavier than a regular wheel, but it's a bigger target and only has 600 hit points. For instance, the ML200 has 810. Don't fret, though. Embrace the Big Ram in all its glory. It's big? Okay. That also means that with Big Rams, there's more room under the cabin, and you'll be able to fit anything you want down there. An engine, a radar, an ammo box, a generator, you name it. And yeah, it's less sturdy than a conventional mechanical leg, but with all that extra mobility, your enemies will have to work twice as hard to keep you in their sights. One last thing. What armaments work best with the Big Ram? We suggest that you should try using turret cannons. They work wonders on these mecha legs. Okay, with our battle car finally ready and Ava Lindholm suitably impressed, it's time to go to battle. We should be the first to claim a good spot. Then we use the second mode to dodge enemy shots. It's time to return fire and strike them down. And there it is, a victory well earned. You have all the parts you need. All the missions and quests are done. Fractions love you. It's like a wish come true. Being the survivor you are, though, there's always that insatiable need for a bit of a challenge. What can you do to truly challenge yourself? That's where our lads from the Mad Lab come in. It will probably work like this. The Mad Lab will return every few episodes or so, and in between, we'll be collecting your ideas and challenges from the comments below. Today, though, we have a very special treat. Tell us, when was the last time you saw the LM54 Chord in any high power score match? Have you ever seen them there? What about chords on meat grinders? In most cases, after you reach 4,000 power score, chords kind of disappear, forever stranded at low levels as one of the game's starting weapons. But wait. We, the Mad Lab of the Garage Show, are very proud to show you this little car over here. Let's take a closer look. Chords, as you all know, are very energy efficient, and we can have as many as 7 of them on our car. Another nice thing about this build is that we are really tough to take out. We have a cabin with 50% resistance to most damage when being hit in the plow area. Our weapons are spread all over the vehicle, and we're simply rather big, with almost no parts prone to going boom. It's a pretty tanky build, all in all. At the same time, 7 chords give us enough firepower to literally suppress our enemies. Don't laugh, it's true. They are accurate enough to be effective at mid-range, cool down really fast, and they're tiny, allowing us to hide them behind healthy layers of armor and making it really difficult for enemies to destroy them before we get in range. Speaking of getting in range, our vehicle, as you can see, is screw-propelled. Meat grinders aren't the fastest, to say the least, but we got ourselves a golden eagle to give them that extra oomph, so we should be all right. Let's check out our build in real combat. We are going to fight at 11,000 PS, and it's going to be very meta-heavy, to say the least. Big bloody harvesters and sparks, lightning-fast hovers with triggers, pulsars, and scorpions, spiders bearing typhoons and mammoths, and drones. Drones everywhere. All of them are waiting. It's not easy to catch them unawares, but we'll do our best. Obviously, this is going to be challenging, with Chords being slightly behind the curve on damage by that point, but that's the whole point. If you want to do the same, remember a few things. Stick to your team at all times, and aim at critical spots. But, and this is important, shoot in short bursts. Don't just hose your enemies with bullets. Your meat grinders allow you to move unpredictably, so do it to be as hard of a target as possible. Actually, never stop moving. There are no brakes on this ship. No big targets in sight, only drones left? They aren't a threat to us. Guard your teammates. Help them to fend those mechanical piranhas off, especially if they're busy engaging someone else. Down to one-on-one? Well, that's pretty good news for us. Face the opponent with your front and concentrate fire on their armaments. You have lots of guns, so there's a good chance that by the time they run out of them completely, you'll still have some, at least a couple, especially if they hesitate. God knows we'll gladly take any misplay on their part. Outmaneuver your foes, feed them lead till they turn into piles of flaming scrap, and shock the crowd with your sheer nerve, you mad lad. And remember, you can give us ideas for new experiments in the comments below.
The new song by Psycho Pete. Wait, I'm still singing. Now out on audio tapes.
The first message comes from a survivor called Al Coutinho. Could you possibly introduce the flip mirror option for all weapons, which would make them symmetrical? What do you think of that? Hey Al, we do not have a plan to have a feature like that specifically for weapons. We did think about introducing a way to help with symmetry while building in general, but given the way that things are set up though, it's pretty hard to implement. We might introduce it in the future, but at least at this point, can't promise anything. Keep your eyes peeled. A collector called Tex asks, will the Valentine, give me a hug horn, or the Christmas, the Santa bag decor, cosmetic ever come back? I'd really like to get those items as a collector. Hi Tex, let's put it this way. They might make a reappearance, but our goal is to create new, exciting things for you to enjoy during the holidays. So that'll always be our primary focus. David Ranciero writes, hey, Crossout team, can you add personalizable paint? Hi David, we do not plan to introduce a fully customizable paint anytime soon, but there is a way to have your name appear in the game. In Crossout, there are some unique, custom stickers that we made to honor Crossout content creators that have been spreading the love for the game for a long time. Then there's a question sent by ShadowFox27. I'm new. What's the fastest way to level up? And some strong and effective weapons for low-level players? Welcome to the game, ShadowFox. You probably know this already, but there's a handy how to play section on our official site with some advice and video tutorials, just putting it out there. When it comes to leveling, we'd suggest doing things that you find enjoyable, as simple as that. Even though you can min-max things, of course, that's certainly the healthiest way to do it. As for the second part of your question, that really depends on your preference. 4 chords on a Huntsman, as suggested in the comments, is pretty decent as a starter. And the last, very serious message was sent by a raider called DK0. Scar AB requests higher clearance and information on Scavenger and Steppenwolf parts to come. Permission granted? That's weirdly persuasive. This guy really sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Should we Actually, no. What do you mean I don't have clearance? Oh, god damn it. And now we come to the last part of the show. Here we choose one craft from the exhibition so that its name and site become the stuff of legends. It might be a simple but effective design, a vehicle breaking all the laws of physics with its appearance, or just something stunningly beautiful. Okay, here it is. The glorious Reapercopter 85P, assembled by Bazar Bizarre for those of us who are bored with simple wheels, legs, and tracks. You strap a few hovers on your car and call that flying? No. This vehicle is propelled into the air by a never-ending stream of bullets and furious anger. You'll have to get used to the rather peculiar controls, of course. At first, it'll be all about awkward hopping and plowing the ground with the nose of your Reapercopter. But after you master the art of flying on literal machine gun fire, it's just pure magic. Thanks, Master Bazar Bizarre. Excellent work. That's it for today. Tell us what you think, ask us questions, and if we survive the next raid, we'll answer some of them in the next episode. Subscribe to the channel, leave us a like, and good luck.